This is me looking at Horus, which I think I've mentioned before, but I haven't explicitly done a picture for as far as I remember. Horus was the son of Isis, created after she put together the dismembered body of her husband Osiris. Isis fled to the Delta marshlands while she was pregnant because she knew that Set would want to kill her son because he'd killed Osiris. Interesting, that reminds me of the King Herod thing. Was this sort of like a prototype for Jesus? I kind of explained it to my daughter this morning. If we look at it from an archetype point of view, it's this idea of the animus, male-female part of us, conscious, unconscious, being united to create this idea of our fully embodied self, which I kind of think this picture shows in a way. You've got this central figure like stood on a hill or a mountain. He's communicating with birds, which may or may not be falcons, which he was represented as, but those birds are like connected to the sky, connected to the ground and the sky at the same time. So then the question comes, is this representative of one person who's able to achieve this or is born like this? Or is this a state that anyone can achieve with gnosis or alchemy? I tend to think the latter, whereas I believe churches would go with the former. So I'm not quite sure what creature I would describe this as. It's definitely not a falcon, but there's sort of like a bird there in the sort of tummy area, and some birds here on the rocks. Maybe one was an owl. And I'm not too sure what these green birds are. I guess it reminds me a bit parrot-like, which may be a pun on the season, PRT, which I think would be a bit like our spring, the season of emergence. So we could pretend that this thing off to the left is a bit falcon-like. Got one eye sort of missing, or at least the pupil part missing, and lots of sort of feathers on the head, which look a bit like they've got people in, or a bit like little windows, and then a sort of bird shape, or two bird shapes in the body. It's almost like there's separate heads, but it could be thoughts. So he's sort of, or she is connected to like different heads that connect to different things, including on the right hand side this parrot bird. And again, up into the sky, which I guess in a way that looks a bit like a brain. There's an eye over on the right-hand side. Left a bit looks like a standing bird. These figures off to the left, the feathers of that bird actually look like people that are stood up watching the sky. And it's hard to tell if this bird on the right-hand side is one bird or two birds in the green, but it's got this protective wing over this smaller bird underneath. I like this one. It looks like it's got strong foundations. Haven't decided whether I'm going to colour in the background yet, but I quite like the contrast with the white. As usual, my interpretation might be a load of nonsense. Thanks for listening. Please like and subscribe.